Joining us now to discuss is Rishon Blumberg. He is co-founder in 10X Management, a recruitment firm that hires the likes of Google, the likes of eBay. Rishon, great to have you on as ever. And talk to us about these numbers. We're seeing sluggishness, unsurprising for the month of August, it would seem. But what did you see in your area in technology?
So, technology remains to be strong. I think overall, the thing that I'm taking away from this report is that the unemployment rate is still very low, which is great. The thing that's sort of behind those numbers that's a little bit more concerning is that wages are really stagnant. So we see the wage rate at 2.5%, which I think is still above inflation, but it's below where the housing market's at. So I think our employees are losing a little bit as wages stagnate.
Yeah, and this is productivity seems to not be going very fast anywhere. We saw wage gains of just 0.1% on a month-on-month basis. But interestingly, you're talking now of an imminent and massive job loss crisis due to automation and AI. I wonder, are we already seeing this in the numbers? Is that why wage inflation isn't going anywhere, because of the threat of a robot taking your job? Or wouldn't we be seeing more productivity?
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think that is sort of baked into these numbers. The fact that that rate is so low, and also that the participation rate is only 62.9%, which is equivalent to like El Salvador and the Ukraine. So what we're seeing in the market is there just aren't as many people in the labor market in general, and some of that has to do with automation for sure. And we've launched this website called The Day After Labor, which is really to focus the best and the brightest minds and lawmakers on really addressing this issue of impending automation job loss that we could see globally, and that will be pretty massive. I don't want to sort of scream that the sky is falling because this isn't today and tomorrow, but this is happening already, and it's going to increase over the next 5 to 10 and 20 years.
I mean, Oxford University here in the UK said that about 47%, so half of US jobs could eventually be automated in the next 2 decades. When you say massive, what sort of numbers are you talking about?
Those kinds of numbers. I mean, those are huge, unprecedented numbers. That's close to 50% of the workforce being completely eliminated, as in no more jobs for them. So what happens? What do we do to keep people out of poverty? And more importantly, or maybe not more importantly, but equally important, what do people do with all of their time? So really what we're trying to do is just focus attention on this sort of looming huge issue globally.
So you're launching this petition, new website to raise awareness. But what do you expect to be talked about in terms of the policy arena, in terms of preserving, helping people that will find themselves out of a job? What do you want to be on the table?
Look, I think that is the million-dollar question, billion-dollar question, is what are some options here? There are a few things that are being talked about. There's universal basic income, which is effectively a base income that everybody would earn to keep them out of poverty. Those are some of the negative aspects of job loss due to automation. Some of the positive aspects are the fact that consumer prices will be incredibly low because of the efficiencies that we'll see in the economy. So if we can find a way to keep people at some sort of a base level of earnings, I think quality of life as far as cost of goods and things like that will be reduced significantly due to the efficiencies. The next question is, what do people do? What are we going to have people doing when they're not working?
And what about the company's role in all of this? I remember at the beginning of the year there was talk flagged by Bill Gates that we tax the robots. But should companies be coming in and helping those that they're likely to be axing? Yeah,
I mean, look, this is a massive problem that is going to have a public and private solution. I do think that governments are going to have to play a massive role here. But yes, I think both companies and charities alike will have to sort of step into the role to fill any gaps that there might be. And I do think there's a responsibility that companies will bear by increasing efficiency and decreasing human labor. Yes, there's going to have to be some sort of contribution and a sort of a system that is just different from what we're used to over the last 100, 150 years.
So fascinating call to arms that you're making at 10x, but talk to us about the here and now with 10x management, about what skills are being demanded of you by the likes of Google, eBay, the tech giants that you serve, and perhaps where people might be wanting to go into to protect themselves from this mass unemployment that you envisage.
Yeah, I mean, look, one area that I think is going to continue to be robust is definitely going to be tech, because we currently have fewer tech specialists than there are tech needs, both domestically and abroad. So as long as you are focused on STEM education and retraining for technology positions, I think we're going to see that market continue to be strong for the long term. And right now, I think we're finding that it's much like the economy right now. Tech needs are very robust because there's just a supply and demand imbalance in that sector.
Rishon Blumberg, always great to get your opinion. Thank you very much. Co-founder of 10x Management. Great to have you joining us.